Hey guys, it's Andrew here again, and in the last video we took a look at doing NFLB, so breaking down an entire address from start to finish with a Class C, so a /24 network. Again, when I say Class C, Class B, Class A, I'm talking about these classful ranges. Again, we're going to start manipulating and breaking this up and getting away from this /16, /24, these rigid lines. But just wanted to keep it simple and straight to the point, these octal boundaries, make it easy for you guys to, grasp these concepts here. Okay, so a /B network, it kind of changes this a little bit, but makes things a little bit bigger. Our network size gets bigger. All right, instead of 254 hosts, we can get 65,534 hosts, right? Quite a bit more. And we may need that in the future. We might need more space in the future. But for now, we're just looking at breaking this down to its beginning and its end and finding out where this stuff begins and ends. Okay, so 172.20.20.64/16. Now 16, we can determine is our CIDR notation here for our subnet mask. So I have 16 ones instead of 24 this time. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, then we're done with the ones, right? That's 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, it gets tedious writing this out, but it works every time. All right, 255.255.0.0. All right. Okay, so there's my subnet mask, and I can start finding my information. So once again, I'm going to solve for the network address, and I'm going to use the ANDing process to do it. All right, so once again, we AND each and every bit, one by one by one. If I have all ones here, I'm going to get my exact combination here. So, I don't want that right there. Oh, it's on a roll too. Come on. There we go. All right, a little bit further down now. All right, so we have 1, again, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. All right, dot 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. All right, so now those take care of all the ones, right? We have a 1 and a 1, or zeros and ones, right? We have our ones in our subnet mask. And remember, ones represent network bits, zeros represent host bits. Okay, so now we can see we have anything with a 0 combination, no matter what we do, as long as our subnet mask here has a 0 in it, we're always going to get a 0 output. All right, so this is all zeros, and that's all zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which I don't really like writing out all these zeros though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so what does this look like in decimal? 172.20.0.0/16. There's my network address. Okay, the network address has been found. Awesome. So let's find the broadcast address, right? Step 2, we're going to grab the broadcast address. All right, so I'm going to come back down here as usual. All right, and here's my broadcast. Okay, so once again, I bring it down. Now you can see where my line is. My line has been shifted over here. All right, so I have my 1, 0, 1, 0. I'm just bringing this down. All right. 1, 1, 0, 0. 1, 2, 3, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. All right. And then remember, we flip all the host bits. So this is now the dividing line between what is network, right, and what is host, right? Host is now all of this, and network is now all of this, okay? So it's actually split right down the middle, all right? So we actually flip all of our host bits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yikes. Okay. 172.20.255.255. Okay. Oh! All right. So that gives us our entire range, everything. So finally we need our first address and our last address, and this is where things take a little bit of a turn, right? We know that this remains the same, right? This column is our network column, all right? And over here are our hosts. But we have that 172. I'm just going to write this out. 20, right? But what is the first address? Well, remember that each column, right, each octet here, right, can only go up from a value between 0 and 255. Now we can count 0 as a value, right? 0.0, 255.255. They're reserved, but they're still values, okay? But what happens if I need more addresses, right? Because keep in mind that this column is now changing too, right? This column's now changing. Right? So once I go from 0 and I keep counting up to some value, 255, it actually wraps back around to 0. We're going to put a 1 out in the front here. We're going to have like a 1 right here. We'll see this more in the future when we start breaking down our Class B networks into different classless boundaries, right? Subnetting on IPv4 Class B networks. Our network here begins with 172.20.0.1 because it's +1, all right? So what's -1, this one down here? Well, it's 172.20.255.254, all right? +1, -1. All right, and this was just a little aside here, but just want you to see the pattern here where we might have a network. So a valid IP address on this network could be 172.20.50.4. Is that valid? Yeah, that is valid, because that 50 exists somewhere in here, in this space, and that 4 exists somewhere in that space, right? And we're going to actually start to see that we have multiple different, it'll almost start to look like we have some different Class C networks in there. But that's really getting ahead of myself. Don't mind yourself so much with that. Really just focusing on this network first, last, and broadcast addresses, all right? So my network address is 172.20.0.0. 172.20.0.1 for the first, 255.254 for the last, and 255.255 for the broadcast address, okay? So again, that gives us all of our addresses, and again, you can find your total range, total value of usable hosts. 2 raised to the 16th power is your 65,536, minus this one and minus that one gives you 534. Okay, so that's your total usable range in here. All right. So in the next set of videos, we're going to start looking away from this static /24/16, and what happens if we want to make the network smaller than a /24. Can we do it? Yeah, we can. And we can actually do it by breaking these octal boundaries, just breaking the rules there and blowing right past them, and what we're going to call giving, borrowing, stealing a bit from the host portion and giving it to the network. All right? So that's coming up in the next set of videos, and I'll see you guys there.